Hello everyone. Welcome back to the Sapphire Spider Oracle channel. If it's your first time being here, thank you so much for checking it out. Today we are doing a pick a pile for the Year of the Horse, Year of the Fire Horse. I brought some really warm, beautiful crystals in here. I've got the Tarot of the Divine, and you can choose from pile 1, 2, or 3, or by crystal. We've got Wulfenite, which did come from a mine in China. We've got Fire Quartz, and we've got red Jasper here. So take a moment to focus. Which crystal or which pile would you like to choose? The timestamps are below in the video description. And do me a huge favor, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to help my channel grow again. It's been a really long time since I've posted on a normal basis. I would appreciate it so much. So choose your pile. I'll see you folks in just a moment. Thank you. Hello, pile 1. Hope you folks are doing wonderful. You might have chosen this pile for this lovely crystal, this Wulfenite. It looks a little unassuming, but I actually haven't worked with it in a while, so I'm excited to bring it out. And we've got 3 cards to start you off. I will pull from the deck if we need some more to unpack this. So what is up for your Year of the Horse? What are we unpacking? What is in store for you? What do your angels, ancestors, and guides have to say? What is their advice for this upcoming year? Let's see what we got. Got an 8, 8, and a 6. Put these up here. So this deck is based off of fairy tale symbolism, and that's where we just kind of move through here. You have the 8 of coins, 8 of pentacles. You have the 8 of cups, and then you have the 6 of cups. With these 2 8s coming out right here, right off the bat, there's clearly... there's a theme. Like skim surface reading right off the bat, it feels like you're a little frustrated, possibly at a job. You decide to leave that job and move on to a place where you are far more appreciated. Could be a past job, could be something where you previously had connections, or it could be a totally new job, but there's someone there that you know from a past. It said past life. Ooh. Said past life. Ooh. That raven, that crow right there is like that, just like ping, like that was the message. It was like this little raven, this crow is speaking. Ah, wow. It said birds of a feather flock together. It said birds of a feather flock together. So in this fairy tale, like all of her brothers get turned into these geese or these swans. I can't remember exactly, but they all get turned into these geese. And that's why she's down here with these nettles making these like protective wreaths basically. And she has to do this task. Like she has to deal with it, right? And that's why there's so much strain in this particular 8 of Pentacles in this deck. There's a lot of strain. It's just about working hard, but not necessarily enjoying it, right? It's not working hard for something that you enjoy. It's working hard to support a family. It's working hard to save people from some other type of situation. But it's saying that birds of a feather flock together. And so that's where... there's kind of this context here about possibly you're working too hard for people who just want to be associated with like these totally other different kind of people. Okay. That's kind of the impression I'm getting. It's like these people flock together, but you're out here wrestling with these nettles, trying to make a buck, right? Just trying to get by and make a living. And something about this is just implying like you're overworking yourself, and the people that you are working yourself to death for are not even like seeing you, right? Like they're doing something completely else. And that's really the vibe I get. It's like you're over here busting your butt for people, and those same people are not appreciating you. Okay. That might be a theme that comes up. And I say a theme because then you have this 8 of Cups. So what this reading is starting to say to me is that there's a situation where you realize you're overworking yourself. The people you're working for don't even fully appreciate you. And then you're going to choose to leave that situation. I think several times, because it's a theme. There's several different little scenarios where you're like, It just presented it as door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. That's what I'm saying. It's like you're going to reach this choice a couple of different times this particular year. And in multiple different situations, I think both in an emotional capacity with the cups and in a financial, like real practical, right? Possibly career and job. And possibly family. There's something here where you're going to have to choose to just step away from kind of those particular circles, right? Those particular cycles, those particular people who are not appreciating your energy and your effort. And like literally something just said, it was like, okay, so this is supposed to be Moses when he leaves the palace in Egypt and goes out on his own to, like figure out what he's doing, right? He's following his calling. And that's the whole thing. It's like, you get this calling and you're like, nope, it said it's about self-preservation and like self-conservation, right? Your energy is too precious to be wasting your time and energy on these people that don't even fully appreciate you. You would be better off listening to your intuition. And that's the whole thing. It's like, this is going to be a theme. So when you start to recognize these patterns, and especially if this choice comes up in different ways again and again through this year, it's like, this is kind of like Moses talking to you in that way, this kind of figure that's just like, you need to conserve your energy. This is no longer the space for you. Look at these kind of frames here in these cards. We got these 2 pillars here and these curtains kind of framing this in, and then you got this hedge over here kind of framing this in. It said like, this is not the place for you. It might have been before, but it isn't any longer. And that's where all of a sudden the frames that enclose the characters in these cards, it's like from the outside looking in, right? And now all of a sudden it's like you get to see connection. With the 6 of Cups being here, there's always a nostalgia and past energy. Can be like children and sweet things, right? But that's where it's like, it's someone that you knew a while ago. And when it was saying past life, there might actually be a past life connection that you just kind of sense out of this. There's some kind of space, a new place that you travel to. You make your decision, you move on to this other job, this other space, this new home, something like that. And somebody that you've known before is there to kind of help segue that and make this a more comfortable space for you. And that's where going from an 8 of Cups to a 6 of Cups, an 8 of Cups is about walking away and learning that like there's more cups to be had. And it's like it's kind of presenting it as both, like I said, conserving your energy. So we took away 2 cups. This is much more balanced and flowing and happy. But it was also kind of like there's 6 more cups over here, right? Like there's a lot more over here. So that's what I get so far. Let's pull just a couple more cards and see if there's anything else that your guides want to draw your attention to. It fell on that 6 of Cups right there. What is that? Nine of Wands. I'm going to put that right here. This is Vasilisa the Beautiful, and this is the hut of Baba Yaga, and there's a lot of detail into that fairy tale, but essentially there's a lot of tasks, there's a lot of tests, there's a lot of unknowingly earning someone's respect and therefore sort of a blessing by doing all the busy work and monotonous things and proving yourself through that, right? It fell on that 6 of Cups. Okay. It just presented it like, this is the conversation you're having with this person. It's like, this is kind of like the encouragement. It's like, it's really hard to kind of step away from some of these situations. And you're feeling like there's a lot of like tests. Someone's just always putting you up to the test. Right? And it's like, you are supposed to go through all of that stuff because that's what makes you realize that this isn't the space for you anymore. And also, right, in a way, like, it's not to say that all spiritual lessons require your input and effort, because sometimes you can just be like, right, like you just get blessed with something in life. But this is one of those situations where you need to work through the obstacles to learn the lessons that are going to help your personal growth and help you move into a happier place. And that's kind of like the conversation you're having with this person. And it's like they're convincing you to like, please leave this situation. Please leave this job. Come work with us. Please leave this. I was thinking family situation, since it was talking about all the brothers are with these geese and everything. It's like, please leave that situation. There's so much more happening over here. But it's really tricky, and it just said trials, right? It said like there's trials to get to this point. 9 of Wands is about kind of like being prepared, being on the defense. You've already made it a long way, but there's still a little more to go, and you've learned a lot of lessons along the way. So it's like, be wise, right? And the whole reason why Vasilisa makes this all out and gets past Baba Yaga's test is because she nurtures this little doll, and that little doll that she took care of is magical, and the doll helps her pass all the tests. So it's like, be kind to others, right? Especially the small people. Be kind to other people. Know who you are speaking to. A trusted friend is kind of what is coming through here. Like, make sure it's a trusted person that you speak to. You otherwise feel kind of isolated and alone. This card right here. You otherwise feel a little isolated and alone. And like I said, like, you're working really hard, but people aren't appreciating it. You're working really hard, but people aren't appreciating it. There's something to be earned out of this. And that is what's important for your growth this year. What's this card? Kind of like another clarifier. Oh, honey. 888. Honey, go. Please. Like, It's okay, this is, this is like, it almost feels like a grandmother talking right here. It's like, do not go put yourself into this mental cave, this mental prison where you're like, what's wrong with me, right? What's wrong with me? Why aren't people appreciating me? Why can't people see my effort? Why don't people care when I go hide away or walk away from this completely? Like, that hurts a lot too. This 8-8 is that infinity symbol, and we're finishing up the year of the snake, which can be a bit of that Ouroboros, right? And it's like the constant cycles. I'm saying, this guide is talking. It said, you have surrounded yourself with people that don't appreciate you. You have surrounded yourself with people that pin you down. You have surrounded yourself with people who would rather stand together and stack themselves against you than enclose you in their circle and accept you and be kind to you. It's just like, they're sipping off your energy. Like, they're not the people that need to be around you. They put up all these fences. That's so the impression I'm getting here. And there's somebody who's like trying to offer you a hand this year and like help get you right and give you your flowers, literally handing flowers. It said next door neighbors. That's what I'm saying. Like, somebody's trying to get you to either move, change jobs, relocate cities. There's something here where there is just so much energy and so many kind of obstacles. And it's not like you're putting them up yourselves. And that's what I mean is like, this guide, this kind of grandmotherly guide is like watching over you and is like watching you mentally beat yourself up a bit about being so unhappy in these situations. And it's like, please don't go put yourself in a corner. Oh, it just did Dirty Dancing and said, nobody puts baby in the corner. That's what I'm saying. There's totally like, it's somebody's grandma up here. It's like, nobody puts baby in the corner. They're like, please don't do this to yourself. Like, you do have to deal with a lot of this because you're supposed to be reaping something out of this, right? There is something important to learn here. And part of that is the people that you take care of that are good, right? Like that little doll. There are some people there that will come through and help take care of you and get you through the tough times. And those people prove themselves. And that's where there's somebody this year that kind of like proves themselves, almost like this little doll helping her out. That's like, I'm going to help you out. This is clearly not good for you. Get yourself out of this cycle. Like, come be my neighbor. Come work with me. Come get a job where I work. All this stuff. think that's really great. Is there anything else that wants to come out for pile 1? Give it just a couple of shuffles. Last one. Oh, it kind of did the magician on the bottom. Fairy godmother. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Fairy godmother. Someone's grandma. Like somebody who's on the other side, but is your loved one. Has eyes on this situation. And they're telling you that this year you got quite a little journey. It is for your personal growth. It is going to feel tough at times, I said, but don't you put yourself in the corner. Let the good people reveal themselves to you. Someone is coming along as a helping hand, and they will show themselves, but you also got to like be a good friend and take care of them too. It said, so don't stop being who you are. Just recognize your emotions. Recognize this is uncomfortable. Recognize when someone's giving you an out. And it said, and take that out. Woo. Woo, and just wrap that message up real nice and clean for you, pile 1. That's what I got for you. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next batch. Happy Year of the Horse. Hello, pile 2. Glad to be here with you folks. So you either chose this pile for the number or for this lovely fire quartz that I have. It's funny because every time I set it down, it keeps wanting to stand almost sideways. This is the face right here. And it keeps wanting to like stand sideways, and I keep kind of reading it as like it's looking at pile number 3, which I have over here off camera. And when I hold it that way, there's also like little rainbows that catch in the light. I don't know if you're going to see them, but they're down here in some of this. And I just think it's funny. So I'm going to face it this way, but every time I set it down, it seems to want to look this way. And it's just funny because pile 3 is over there. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what the messages are here with these first 3 cards. Page of Swords, the Devil, and a King of Swords. It wants to start right here with the Devil card, and it feels like this person talking. The Devil in this particular deck is a story of, it comes out of like the Amazon, out of the rainforest. This rainforest was flooding. And that's where at first this devil appears, this giant snake appears to save the people in the forest. And then as like time continues, there's some other terrible thing, or maybe the flood comes second. But anyway, something then happens later after he has saved the people in the forest. Then this flood comes along or whatever, and he starts to eat the people that are dying from whatever's happening. He's no longer saving them. He's eating the people. And very specifically, he is consuming the light from their eyes. And with this being the year of the snake that we are currently in, heading into the year of the horse, it's very much pointing out that theme. And I'm not going to go into all of that detail today, but yes, there's very clearly a lot of like global, national, political messages tied to this card for some people in this reading. So, someone or something, I would say in this past year, has previously revealed themselves to be a devil. And it's like there might have been some good in there before in this other situation, in this particular time. But these are dead bodies at the bottom of this card. These are all the dead humans that he is consuming. This is where he has gotten the light in his eyes. He has taken it from them. And he is no longer a savior. He is the devil. Right? And so that's where it's like you have to make a choice. Even someone that was good in your life before can become a bad energy. And so you might need to make the choice to remove that from your life. And it feels like this message all came from this Page of Swords. This particular fairy tale, there's like a talking river, and there's like all this stuff, and going up the mountain to retrieve like this bird. And that's where you're not supposed to listen to the voices or turn around and look back when you're going up this mountain, because that's how like the little demons get you and you turn to stone. And all of her brothers failed to do that. All of her brothers failed to do that. And that's where she's like a princess, and she finally dons some pants and some clothes, and she sneaks out of the palace back here, and she goes to save all of her brothers. She goes to climb that mountain, and she goes to retrieve whatever is needed. I can't remember in the fairy tale. And the whole thing is you cannot listen to the voices as you climb the mountain, because they are just there to trick you and mess with you. There's something here about tricking, right? And that's where it's like she cannot listen to the voices. And at the same time, it's like, it's almost like relating the voice to this card here. It's like, this is, right, not the right voice speaking to me. It's talking about discernment. It's talking about discernment. That Page of Swords is very observant energy. A lot of times they get called like a spy energy, and that's where it's like they're just sharp, man. Like, they can be a spy, but they're just sharp. They pay attention. They've learned the lessons. They know the stories. They know what they're supposed to do and what not to do. Page of Swords don't mess around, right? A sword is very sharp. So that's where they're like no blurred lines whatsoever. Very clear cut. She knows I cannot listen to the voices as I go up the mountain. And it's almost like she's going to face this devil. And at the same time, it was like this was past energy. This was past energy in a way. And that's what I'm saying. It's like she's talking about history. She's talking about history and learning from history and learning from these fairy tales and these stories, because all these themes, all these stories, it's talking about like from the human collective are just one of those things where it's like, no, like we've known this stuff for a long time. We can see these patterns, like we know what we're dealing with, right? And that's where it's like, right, there might have been some good in here somewhere, but it just went bad. It went sour. It went wrong. It said it's all wrong. And that's where we have the devil. Now on this side, we have this King of Swords, which is a griffin. And it's almost feeling like a father energy in this way. It just got like really quiet and really silent. And the head is turned in the opposite way. See, it keeps coming back to her, because it's almost like this father doesn't want to listen. Like he's just turned his head away, and it's like, well, I'm a king, so, and I'm your dad, so you should just listen to me, right? It's like he's ignoring everything in this card. And it said, let's be very freaking clear. It wanted to cuss. It said, let's be clear. This is a King of Swords card. This is a major arcana. This is the trump card. This is the trump card here in this reading. So for the Year of the Horse, it's like we're very much looking back at the Year of the Snake, and at least in this pile. And this is the major energy. And there is somebody, I would say, connected to this figure, because they're of the same suit, possibly a dad, that is just not acknowledging what is going on with this card. And that's where it said, she said the same thing. She's like, you're going to turn to stone. You're going to end up like this. You're going to be the very thing that this creature feasts on. And that's where it's just, she's like, got her head turned this way too, because right, it's like, don't listen to the voices. Don't listen to the voice. She said, I'm over here trying to climb my mountain and like achieve what I'm trying to do on my path. We were talking about how all of her brothers failed before her, and she had to sneak out of the palace. Why? Because she's a girl. She's not supposed to get out of the palace, right? She's a princess. She's supposed to stay in the house. She's supposed to stay over here. There's a really big theme about this coming through this reading, and it's like, it's almost in a way like she's trying to prove herself, and that's where it says, I'm still a court card just like you. It's almost putting these as equals, even though this is a king and this is a page, and we usually see them as a different tier. It's very much showing this as like they are equals. It's like, well, you're a human and I'm like this mighty griffin. And it's like, yeah, well, I got talking birds and I got a sword. And, you know, if I dress up like a boy and sneak out of the house, don't nobody know any different. It's like the wiles of not just a woman. It's like the wiles of a young lady, like a teenager, like, right? Just someone who, right, is a little stubborn. And at the end of the day, though, it's like her energy is really, this card is coming off really positive. This card is coming off like she just knows herself and what's right and what's true, and like she's just observant, she's sharp, she's witty. Like I said, she's learned the history, she learned what she's supposed to do. She ain't about to listen to these voices, even if they are her father, because there's just kind of this feeling like she's reached a certain point where it's like, you're wrong. You're wrong. And that's where, I don't know, there is this kind of turning of the heads, turning away. And there's like this other feeling that just came through, this other voice, this other message. It's like, don't turn away from what is really happening, right? Like, don't turn away from what's really happening, what the real issue is. But with this being a big snake in this reading, I'm feeling like it's a past issue. This card just like, bloop, like, I think it wants that one there. With the Two of Swords, there's a decision. And it's not a snake, but there's a Hydra back here, which is very snake-like. And then there's like this vortex, this like water fortress, or not fortress, like whatever. There's a bunch of water right there. And this particular character, has to make the choice of either fighting the Hydra first or going and dealing with this like water vortex first. And then meanwhile, she's like surrounded herself with, it said the hedge of protection, because there are bushes back here. It's like the hedge of protection and a wall of fire. It's a very holy protection, because that's actually kind of biblical right there, that hedge of protection and the wall of fire, right? And this isn't necessarily a biblical reading. It's just one of those things talking about like very spiritual symbols, right? So she is walking. Thank you. Woo, that fire horse energy finally came through. It said, you're supposed to walk in your holy path this year. And it's going to be hard, okay? You have surrounded yourself and should continue to surround yourself with very clear discernment, that like holy fire, that hedge of protection. It does not put off the hard decisions that you are going to have to make in this year of 2026, of the year of the horse. It's not going to put that off. This energy is still here, right? And that's where it's like, we still got to deal with this. We still got to deal with this. But it's like this woman is just like standing here, just like, right, figuring it out, like pulling that wisdom down to her. And like, it's not that she's not making a decision, it's that she is like calling on spirit, like summoning her protection down before making a decision. And I wanted to pause, and I wanted to go back to me talking about this crystal, how I kept saying it was like facing this way. So this figure right here, that's what I'm saying, is facing this way. There's something here where this keeps looking at something else. And I'm really getting the sense there. And it's like, what are you looking at? And I almost feel like that's that card here. Because this card really didn't speak much at all. It's being stubborn in its own way. Ooh, that came from her. She said, you're being stubborn in your own way, right? This one right here. Knight of Coins. Well, that's usually a fabulous card. But look, this person is looking that way too. I'm telling you, there's something. Finally was like, I'm looking to the future. And that's where it's like, well, and it's saying like she's looking at the past. And it's like, well, that's great, but you can't ignore. See, telling you, this is the main card talking in this reading. And it's telling this person, like, you cannot continue to look forward into the future if you are ignoring the past. Like, that, you're just leaving the monster, like, over here for a little while, right? Like, you've got, like, it's going to come back. We've learned from history. We know this. That's what I'm saying. Like, she's talking in a different sense. And this person's like, I'm just going to ignore that and look to the future, look to the future. With a Knight of Coins energy, there really is a good energy. It said under there. It said just like this. right? There was a good energy under here. It's talking about there's a good energy in this. It's like, right, it's great to look at the future. It's great to keep moving to the future. It might be slow. With the Knight of Coins, it's about, again, like, you know, finances, stability, food, resources, making a good future. It's also one of the first times we like very clearly have a masculine here, because this is a king, but it's a griffin, right? This is like a masculine. There's very clearly feminine energy on this side. There's very clearly masculine energy on this side. And she just spoke. And it's like, you get to move on to the future. But something about this is like you're either leaving the feminine energy kind of stuck over here, or, right, you're ignoring this giant monster. And it's like, all right, cool, I'll deal with this. I will deal with this. And whatever. These people are not quite getting that memo. It's like they're not paying attention. And I think it's just very clearly like there's a divide here. Like someone is just not paying attention. And they absolutely refuse to. That's how this king feels right here. And they might chalk it up to this, oh, well, we're just going to keep on moving forward and not worry about those things because, you know, it always happens. And it's like, yes, it always happens because we never continue to like learn this lesson and cut off the cycle. With that sword energy here, it's like really trying to cut off the cycle. And her swords are active. His is kind of like down and like being held. It's not very active. Their swords are active. So this is a very active energy. I feel like there's at least one more card to kind of wrap this one up. I don't feel like the message has fully sealed itself yet. I don't know what's up with this. I got a like kind of 80s song and movie in the last reading. Now I got another one right here. It was talking about it said turn around, like the total eclipse of the heart, right? Now we do have eclipse cycles, of course, naturally, this year. So there might be something during an eclipse that changes this person's mind, because now I don't usually get this off this card because this is usually a little bit about something else, but look at this is the god Janus, and he looks in both directions. He looks in both directions. And there's going to be something, I think, because of that song coming through, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Somebody's heart changes. And look, this is a man. This is a masculine. Somebody's heart changes. There's a key to unlock the future. There is like the wand of the past. There is this understanding. There's this looking in both ways. Somebody's given the keys to a kingdom, but there is this total eclipse of the heart. Totally changes from this energy. And I feel like this card goes right here because something just said cover up, and we need to not cover up. So we're not going to cover this up, but that's the whole thing. It's like somebody stops and reflects. Woo, wow. For some reason, it showed me all the purple grapes up here and it just brought me to the purple in these trees. It's like it's like this is her brother or somebody that like awoke, unlocked. Like, oh man, wow. The energy just like shifted so much when I said that. It's like she went up there and saved her brother. Saved somebody. Like maybe didn't get to get everybody out, right? But like somebody flips. We've been talking about this energy a lot. Somebody's had their head turned. Somebody does a literal double take and turns around and pays attention. And if this is you, pile two, like, oh, I just said like, finally, God, like finally, right? There's still this kind of like handing off the torch, this decision. Ooh, it says handing off a sword. Like, here, please take one and get to work. Somebody finally turns around and like does this double take and looks and thinks again and is like, wait a minute. And there is this passing of the torch sort of energy. Ooh, and it almost was like passing the King of Swords energy back over here to her. So I'm saying it's like an equal. It's like, wait a minute. It said she was right. Oh my God. It said she was right. Ooh, y'all. Like, this was a pretty deep pile right here. If this is pile 2, I feel like, that's what I'm saying. It's like they turn around, they face center, which is just more balanced. And it's like they realize what's going on. And they finally like step up into that energy. It's like you've been finally waiting on someone to acknowledge you, recognize you, see you as an equal, understand what the heck you are saying and what you're talking about, and just see the same things that you are seeing. Is that it took so long, but finally, right? Finally. And it said, and this is a start, right? It's a baby step is essentially what it's saying. Since this is minor arcana, it's like, it's a baby step, but I will take it. And that's what it's saying here, pile 2. So it's like, that's a baby step, but I will take it. And that's what I got for you in the Year of the Horse. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought. And I will see you folks in the next batch of readings. Happy Year of the Horse. Hello, hello, pile 3. I hope you folks are feeling wonderful. I don't know what it is about this reading, but I'm actually vibing with this pile 3. I'm usually a different pile, but I'm just really feeling this pile 3 today. So if you chose this, you might have chosen it for these red Jaspers. Always just a good stone. You know what I'm saying? I believe I got these all out of a little like Virgo crystal set because I'm a Virgo. But anyway, so... they are a good earthy stone. I feel like they're just good to go to when you just need some like basics. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get started. Here's your 3 cards. Let's see what your reading is right off the bat. It said, oh no, not that 5 of Swords. Heck yeah, with that Page of Wands. All right, give me a second. Ooh, it just said it really sharp and clear for you guys. It was like, in 2026, you are creating something beautiful and somebody sees that and they are after it. But man, I'm telling you, that Page of Wands right there, like this whip is just like, she's like, it said she, but I actually think it's a he in the fairy tale. Either way. It did want to say that's a he. I'm pretty sure. Let me check the book, but I'm pretty sure that's a he. I could be wrong. But it was pointing out how this is Horus, Isis's son, flying off. And it is to come back later to do vengeance against Set. But it was kind of pointing out to me how this Page of Wands has a particular tool in their hand. And he's got this sword, and they're both red and black. And it was almost like this mother figure of Isis. It's almost like she's afraid that her child is mimicking the wrong energy. Okay. Let me just check up on this Page of Wands real quick, because it's been a while since I've looked at the book. Wands. Page of Wands. Page of Wands represents a childlike optimism and carefree rebellion. For Mowindo, every situation is made fun by a swish of his magical fly swatter. He makes many enemies, but just as many friends who help him in his journey. So that's the whole thing. So I'm saying this is actually a boy. It's like, well, it kind of went both ways there. It was kind of talking about both violence, and it was also talking about on the other side of where, on the political spectrum, at least, people talk about, you know, guys dressing up in girls' clothes and everything. So we're not going to touch on that topic in this reading. Regardless, this mother figure is feeling like this person, this Page of Wands with this energy, and got a similar kind of colored tool in their hand. It's black and red. There's this sword. It's like, oh my God, like, no, don't, no, please. It just said covet. It said the word covet. It said, please don't covet. Please don't be violent. It said, please don't be jealous and angry, and just whatever this energy is that you got going on, like, no. Like, she's really upset by it. And it said, and why? Why? Because I honestly feel like this is you, pile 3. And it's because you've been trying to, like, really get down to the pure essence of something. You're really trying to craft something beautiful. It said you offer only the best. And that's the whole fairy tale of this Ace of Cups right here. This is like the finest sake, and it's being served very specifically to the spirits, right? Like to the spirits. So it is quite literally the finest sake, and it is only served to the gods, to the spirits. And so it's just using that sake as a metaphor of like, that's what you're working to craft. You're trying to craft something that is so good, so pure, so high quality. And that is in this emotional capacity, right? Like such a beautiful, it said rare thing to find. And it said, and it's really hard to craft that sake. And it's comparing your sake to your soul in a way, right? Your essence. It's like, it's really hard to work on yourself. And we all have our impurities, but it's like you've been working really hard, especially if you're a parent trying to raise a child, right? You make a lot of decisions because you're trying to craft a really good spirit. You're trying to craft a really good person. And there is something beautiful and new for you this year with that Ace of Cups. And it said, but because you have something beautiful and new, somebody is, it said like, something just said like guarding it in a way, but they're not, okay? This is a Five of Swords. They're not guarding it. It wants to be very clear. With this particular Five of Swords, some of the more positive energies that can come off of it about like being daring and stuff, that's not really in here, okay? This is very clearly set. Osiris has been chopped into bits and is here, and she's crying over it, okay? Her son sees her pain and does fly off to later become the god of vengeance, Horus. And he's more than a god of vengeance, but like he comes back and takes vengeance out on set. And so that's where, see, and that's where someone was just like, can we not go through this again? Like, it's not emotional right here. It's just like, it's like this has happened before in a way. It's like this energy has happened before. And it's like, no, can we please not go through that again? So someone saw that, and I think overall is right. Like they paid attention to all that. And I said, but there's something here where they are starting to mimic this kind of energy. And it's just very clear, like this person is watching this and is like very like trying to get in on the good stuff, but they are being possibly violent and mean and ruthless and cutting, and they are possibly destroying friendships and other relationships in your life. It said this is like a toxic energy for you. And I don't really like to say that, but right, like this person's just kind of like looming and lording and just sitting here and like, and they got many, many swords to back them up. And that's where all of a sudden there's something where it's like, somebody's mimicking that type of energy. And it does say mimicking. And they're excited about it. There's a lot of exploration here. And it does say like they make friends, but just as many enemies. And that's where this mom energy never wanted you to have to make enemies. Because this is what happens when you make enemies. And this is where there's a big concern coming off of this Five of Swords. Watching this Page of Wands. It's like you didn't listen to me. And it's like thinking about this Ace of Cups and what she was trying to help shape someone into, but they seem to be taking a different path. Oh, it finally got a little emotional. Pile 3. There's something here. It's like you've dealt with, it's not even singling out a person. It's literally, this is like a certain energy. And I'm really getting just a masculine sense off. It doesn't have to be about man or men. There's some kind of, you can call it patriarchy. There's something masculine about this particular energy that this feminine's been dealing with. It said spoiled rotten. And I feel like that came from them. That's what I mean. It's like you're spoiled rotten. Like you're so used to all these finer, nicer things. And, or like you expect the best. You only want to create the best. Like you're a perfectionist. There was something there about that. And it's like, this is what I'm saying. There's just this energy off of that where it's like, look, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And you even possibly influence someone else in my life that I care very much about. And I can't deal with this anymore. And so it's very much like you've chosen this Hermit card, this major arcana, to overcome this. And it said you want to get back to this because it's like you've been very focused on fighting this energy on many fronts. And that's where it's not just about this. It's about some of this influence over here on possibly this energy. So you've been fighting this energy on many fronts. And with the Hermit card, it's just that stepping away into the woods, right? It said to perfect your craft, to hone your craft. It said to get away from some of this hostile energy and this hostile environment. It's really talking about the colors. Like, even though I was digging the warm colors today, it's showing me all the warm colors in these cards is like very, and it's like you're seeking those cool colors. You're seeking that peacefulness, that calmness, this water energy, this like really beautiful dawn or really beautiful sunset energy. Now the stag appears in fairy tales to lead us on a new quest, and also it's very much in that way where it's like where they show you what is right, and it's like you feel like it's right to step away from some of this hostile environment. It's like because you just like literally cannot deal with it anymore. Like you just can't. You are trying to create something completely different from what the rest of the vibe, it said, of this year is. It said what the rest of the vibe of this year is. And it said, so your major move, your major arcana, pile 3, is the Hermit. You've decided to retreat and go find out what that hidden inner truth is for you. Usually the Hermit has a lantern. This one has a staff, like a walking stick. It's literally like going for walks in nature, being alone with nature, being with the animals, seeking animal signs. It's like you are literally trying to be a freaking druid out here, okay? Like you were just like, you're trying to get away from people. Look, there's only a hand in here. It's like you were literally trying to get away from people this year. And at the same time, it's like, that's not what you really want to do. It's like you were looking forward to this kind of fresh start. And it said, and everything's kind of the same out here and just perpetuating with this Page of Wands. I don't know why this Page of Wands is feeling like that. It's like the stuff is just perpetuating. And it's like you are almost retreating in a sense. I'm just not going to take any like questionable reverses or anything today. And you got the Moon card. With this Moon card, for some reason, it was literally like you have a choice this year. You have a choice. One of your main choices this year is to either pursue after this energy and kind of see where it leads. And then the other half is to step away and work on yourself. And I'm very much getting this in the sense of a mother's kind of instance where it's like you're watching your child step out and do something on their own, and now you suddenly have more free time, and it's like, am I going to be a clingy mom, or am I going to go use my free time to focus on myself? And with this Moon card here, like there's still a lot of beautiful feminine energy here. And that's what I mean. There was this kind of conversation about the masculine. It's like men need feminine energy too. And it's almost like, should I retract my energy and just let them go wild and go do whatever they're supposed to do? Maybe they're of a certain age and they've gotten certain privileges and things, and it's like, you're just like, oh my God, right? Like, it's like letting someone loose out of the zoo, like letting an animal loose out of the zoo. You're just like, oh my God, they're running rampant. And, so, I mean, there's a lot of reflection here, and there's a lot of reflection in the feminine energy. And it's like, but they also need that feminine energy too. Like, young boys need moms so much. Young men that don't have moms literally grow up differently, right? Like, there's a huge psychological difference here. And especially with that moon card, it's really getting into that psychology here. And it's like, no, like they need women in their lives. They literally need women in their lives. And when they don't have women in their lives, they are the worst kind of men ever. I'm not trying to criticize out here for my fellas. I'm just being real, right? It's just like how women need fathers. So the whole thing is like, there's this conversation about like what makes a healthy, balanced human. There's a lot of tension and stress. There's a lot of this looming energy and someone kind of coveting some of the things you've been making and creating for yourself. It says they messing with your pure essence. They messing with your energy. Ha! Wow, it got sassy. It said, and this is where you got me fucked up. Pile 3, it suddenly all made sense. It said, it literally showed me that clip of that woman drawing the little graph, and she goes, and then this is where you got me fucked up. This is where they got you messed up, okay? It said, because I've been through this, I've done this energy, we're not going to, okay, woo, mom energy just came through. She like kind of like put herself together. It's like, no, look, I do need my peace and my quiet, and I am going to step away from you sometimes, but at the end of the day, I'm your mom. You're not going to run around rampant out here. I don't care if you're 5, 10, 19, 23, 40. Like, don't be out here showing your ass and doing that. I am going to be here in your life, but I'm at a major turn, I would say. Whoever, like, this is a major arcana in both directions. It's like you're making choices just for yourself. Just for yourself, you're making choices. And then meanwhile, you're kind of being a mom in some type of way and kind of dealing with this too. And I feel like ultimately you make the choice to stay present, but I also feel like kind of like more publicly in a way, it's like you make the choice to step out of the light because there's something where it's more than just this child. There's just an overall energy that is very ruthless and cruel, and it is meant to be, it wants to be, and someone keeps picking up on that energy and you hate to see it, and that's where you've been very upset. It said the world is just not the way it's meant to be, so please let me go retreat into the forest and work on my own essence. I'm still here, but it's like, it's very much just saying like, but I can't really go this route with you. Again, with the cool colors, like crossing the bridge, making a compromise, like doing something in that way, but ultimately letting her hair down and being a woman and being like, this is not my path and I'm not going to go down this path. It's like, okay, it literally showed it as two paths. Like there's a fork in the road. There's this, and it said, and kind of under. It was saying like, someone was like, you have to go through it. And it's like, no, I don't, because I've already been through it before in a way. And that's the whole thing. It's like, you're not going through it. It's like you're going around it. It's like you're going through the creepy dark woods on a shortcut. And a lot of people don't think it's a shortcut. It's a dark night of the soul, like some shadow work this year. You're going into the woods, into the forest, into the darkness, where it is just far more peaceful and you can sort your feelings out the way that you need to, because I feel like you are greatly bothered by masculine energy and the way that the world is moving and influencing, especially maybe children right now. You're just very upset underneath it all. There it goes. Gave me a No Doubt song. I gotta admit, Gwen Stefani kind of on my bad list these days, but I do like this song. So I was going to say the No Doubt song, Underneath It All. It says, you're really lovely underneath it all. Do you want to love me underneath it all? I'm really lucky underneath it all. You're really lovely. And that's exactly what this kind of energy is. It's like, look, I love you. Underneath it all, you're great. But there's this surface, there's this shell. You're like wearing this mask. You're just like, there's all this stuff up here that I'm not dealing with. So underneath it all, same thing it said back to you, pile 3, is like, you're really lovely underneath it all. You're really lovely underneath all of this. And that's why you're stepping away from this energy, because it's just been very hostile. Very hostile. And you don't approve of the influence that it's putting on other people. Wow. Look at these major arcana in your reading, pile 3. Last card is the Lovers, Beauty and the Beast. And I freaking love this card in this deck. I love the patterns here on the Beast. Dang, it just gave it to me like K-pop Demon Hunters with the patterns. That's what I'm saying. There's this Lovers card. There's this balance. There's this choice to live in peace and harmony. It's very difficult, I would say, to achieve. She's very delicate, like a beauty would be. He is ginormous and kind of monstrous, as the Beast is. And that's where these two very opposite energies are like coinciding together. I said, and that's how it's meant to be. And that's what I'm saying. There is a huge disconnect. There's a huge hostility. And said, and it's actually not that huge. And it is a pattern. This is a 5 of Swords. This is a minor arcana. But this is what's been present out here. And that's what's been influencing. And that's where it wants to point out the red and black again. And just say, like, in this particular card, in this particular fairy tale, this just means something different in this case. It's not mimicking this hostile, violent, angry, coveting, greedy energy. It's literally just its own energy, right? It doesn't have to copy anything. It doesn't have to be anything else. It is itself. So be yourself. And that's the whole thing. I think that's what you're trying to figure out too. I think pile 3, you're trying to figure out yourself. So you're on this kind of side journey, because all this is just too much. But I think ultimately you're concerned about someone else, and you're telling them to be themselves. Be yourself. And we can live in harmony with the cool colors and the warm colors coming together in this card, right? We can live in harmony. Just be yourself. It's like, stop wearing a mask. Stop mimicking other people. Stop recreating this behavior that is literally causing pain, especially to women or the people in your life. I'm going to step away, because I'm not dealing with this anymore. And I think ultimately this person realizes all of this and makes a choice and kind of corrects their behavior. And I think that's what it comes down to. And just showed it to me like a cup, like that sake. Woo! There we go. Pile 3, sealing up that message. Yes, it's like they really water it down, thin it out, right? Work on, let it ferment, whatever the heck we do with sake. And just like, get down to that essence. Get down to that pure essence. That's what you're trying to get to this year. That pure essence, that Lover's card, that living in harmony and just beauty and loveliness and making choices out of love, not out of greed and coveting and everything that was listed up here. Wow. Interesting reading, pile 3. Please let me know how it resonates. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next batch. Happy Year of the Horse. Bye.